Welcome back, guys. So I welcome you all in this new tutorial edition of Scala. So in this tutorial I will discuss about a programming language, Scala, and I will let you know then what is a Scala and what's the benefit of learning a Scala. So see some history of a Scala. So it was designed by Martin Ortsky and it was officially released for Java platform in early 2004. So uh, it's not a new language, it's not a new programming language. So because already it was officially released in 2004, and for the first time it was released in for .NET framework later on 2004, that is in the month of June. And then later on Scala dropped the .NET support in 2012. So Scala is not a new programming language, but you can say in past few years with the hype of data science environment, Scala has grown up, and it's now necessary to learn Scala if you're working with some framework like Akka framework, Play framework, Kafka framework, and also one of the most important processing tool called Apache Spark is written on Scala itself. So it's quite benefit to add in your portfolio a new programming language, Scala, and it's quite simple. It's easy to learn a Scala and easy to program in a Scala. And if you're from Java background and if you're from Python background, then it's quite similar. It's not so much give you pain to learn the Scala. It's quite easy to learn the Scala, and you can learn the Scala in just 2 days, and you can practice and you can program in production. So story sums up. So what is a Scala? Scala is general purpose programming language. It is a general purpose programming language, and it supports object oriented and functional programming approach. Scala is 100% object oriented programming language. So what's the benefit if program is 100% object oriented programming language? So the main benefit is it provides some certain properties like code reusability, encapsulation things. So these are the parameters. It's good to have no object oriented programming language. And what's the benefit of having functional programming approach? So Scala basically provide you supports for object oriented, and at the same time it also provide you support for functional programming. And functional programming is, and some of the important functional programming approach property is data integrity, immutability, and the pattern matching things. So it's good to have if your programming language is having object oriented support as well as functional programming. Also if your programming language is having functional programming approach where you can just pass your function inside a variable, or you can pass your function inside a method parameter argument. So I will let you know all the things in practical way, how a complete function we can store in a variable and how a complete function we can pass as a parameter in another function. So I will let you know all the things while we are doing practicals. Also, Scala is a strong static type language. So basically there are two type of language, a static type language and dynamic type language. So what is a static type language? So static type language are those type of language which let you know the error, the issues with your program at compile time itself. So any error or any issues which let you know at compile time itself are those languages are known as a static type language. So Scala is a static type language. Also Java is a static type language. And another type of language is dynamic type of language. So dynamic type of language are those type of language which don't let you know what's the issues and what's the error at compile time. So only when it run the uh, bunch of code or your program, then it will let you know what's the issues and what's the error. So JavaScript is a dynamic type language. Groovy is a dynamic type language. So Scala is a static type language, and also I will let you know that Scala is a compile type language. So basically it compile the code and then give you the output. Okay. Also, in a Scala, everything is an object. So whether it is a function or a number, everything is an object. So it's quite a good thing, about a Scala, that everything in a Scala is object. So whether it is a function or whether it is a number. Also, a Scala does not, support operator overloading. Sorry, it does support operator overloading, because there is nothing like operator in Java. There is only one operator in Java, that is equal to. Rest everything is a function. So if you're doing 1 plus 3, then plus itself here is a function in a Scala. Also, it does not have the concept of primitive data type. So if you're from Java background, then must aware of this primitive data. So Scala does not have concept of primitive data type. Everything is class here. So there is no concept of wrapper class here. If you're from Java background, then you must aware that what is wrapper class and why we need wrapper class in Java. So as I told you that Scala is 100% object-oriented programming language, then there is no question of having a wrapper class, all these things, primitive data type. So it's the basics of a Scala, and if you guys wanted to set up the Scala, then it's quite easy. Just go to scala.lang.org, and it will give you the download facility. So it's quite easy to install the Scala. You need to just set up the quite one or two paths, and then you are ready to work up with this. So as you can see that the officially Scala website is pointing that object oriented meets functional. So it's quite interesting that a language supports both object oriented as well as functional at the same time. Okay, so we will move directly to the programming environment, and then from here itself I will let you know the different concept of a Scala. So let me increase the size of this cell. So this is basically if you finish the installation work, then this is your Scala cell. So if you're working with Python or if you're working with any interpreted language, then you have some certain cell. So this is a Scala cell, and we call it as REPL. This complete cell is known as REPL. REPL is nothing but read, evaluate, print, and loop. Basically it read the value and it evaluate the value what you have given to this Scala interpreter. Basically it looks like it interpreter, but let me know that Scala is not an interpreter language. It's a compiler language. It's compile the things what you have written. So it looks like its UI looks like interpreter, but it's not an interpreter language. While if you're working with Python is an interpreter language, but Scala is not an interpreter language. So you should have clear in mind that Scala is a compiler language. So this Scala cell is known as REPL, and this REPL means read, evaluate, print, loop. So if you're working with Python, then Python have some a Python cell, and that Python cell also known as REPL. So this REPL is not only associated with Scala. So it's REPL. It's important to know that it read, evaluate, print, loop. Okay, thank you. Then suppose this in this Scala cell, if I give the value 1 plus 3, then it's given me the result of 4. So it's added the value and it has given me the result 4, right? So this is basically taking 1 plus 3 and it's reading the value, it's evaluating the things, and it printing the things. And then again if I let him know the perform the things, then again it will give me the output. So that is basically REPL. Okay, also it's one important thing to note on here is in a Scala that if I am giving 2 plus 5, then it giving me the result like result 1 and int 7. Okay, so basically if a Scala is a smart language, and it guesses smartly. So if you basically if you're providing any value to a Scala cell, then it analyzes the things and with its smart guess, and it analyzes the things and it will return you the type of the things you are providing to a Scala cell. So as you can see, if I press 2 and it give me that it is a int. Okay, and if I this a string, then it gives me that it is a string, right? If I do this, then it guesses the things, double. Okay, so as you can see, if I provided 2, then it has given int 2. If I provided a string, then it has given it's a string type. And if I provided 10.6, then this is called, so what a Scala does is it smart guess the things and it return you the type of what value you have entered. So this concept in a Scala is known as, type inference. So it inference the things, so this is important concept in Scala. So type inferencing. So what is type inferencing? Type inferencing is nothing but a Scala does a smart case and it will let you know what exactly you are, what type of, what data type of things you are exactly providing to its cell. So type inference is nothing but, like I have given 4, then it is, inferencing the things, inferencing my value to a int type. So it does a smart guess. So I hope you are clear with, type inferencing concept in Java. Okay, so this is known as type inferencing. Okay, so also I will let you know one important concept here that in Scala, if you write in your Scala code, then basically this Scala code goes to a Scala compiler, and this Scala compiler convert this code into bytecode and then this bytecode go to JVM and then it process the result. So basically we can say that Scala is a JVM language because whatever the things you have written in Scala, it's Scala compiler convert this code into bytecode and then this bytecode go to JVM and JVM process the result. So in Java also, if you're from Java background, you know that whatever the code we are writing in Java, it Java compiler convert that code into bytecode and then bytecode goes to JVM and JVM, does the certain processing. Okay, so a Scala is also a JVM language. So it's a JVM language, right? So you need to just have a clear of that. Then in the Scala there is, two important concept and they are called as val and var. So val means value and value means constant, right? Val means value and value means constant, and if you are, initialize any value, then that means, immutable because you are providing a constant value. So this is one important concept in Scala. We define here are the things by two types, that is by immutable type, and the second one is var. And var means what? Variable, which we can, change later on, right? So this is mutable. So two important concept while defining variable you can say, or value you can say, in Scala is immutable and mutable, right? So at any point of time, if you're providing any value to a Scala, say like that, if you wanted to give val x is equal to 10, val x is equal to 10, then it means that you are providing a constant value which cannot be changed at any later point in your programming. So val means, so wherever, val comes in the picture, it's immutable, and wherever var come into picture, it mutable. So if I will do like x is equal to 20, then it's give me error that reassignment to val means you are reassigning anything to val which is not, acceptable, because x here, x is, of val type, which means it is a immutable type. You cannot change the things, you cannot change the reference of x here, right? So if I do that var y is equal to 20, so it's 20, and if I change it to 30, it simply accept, because for a y I have applied a var that is mutable, you can change it. So it has accepted the value of 30. So these two concepts you need to know, take care, that is val means immutable and var means mutable. Okay, so these two concepts you need to take care in mind. Okay, so now let's see, if I have given val x is equal to 30, so whenever I provide val x is equal to 30, then object is, created, right? Object is created at your, no, at your memory destination, right? So val x is equal to 30 I have done, and object is created at memory destination. It's quite, simple as, Java. So suppose if I have val x is equal to, you know this much of size of value, so it's quite a large value, and I'm trying to store in an x. So whenever I do this, it send me integer number too large, right? Means val x equal, let's give, short number I have done. So it has, of this size, it has accepted the value, and it has created the object at your memory size. So your memory, is going to be full because it's a large number, so it's definitely going to be, at full. So there is a concept called lazy loading in Scala. Lazy loading in Scala. So what lazy loading do is, if you don't want that this val x number, large number, if you don't want to create the object, you just need to do is lazy val x is equal to 1, whatever the number, oh sorry, lazy, not laxy. So what this lazy do is, it store the value in temporary things, and it will not allow it to write this value at memory. So whenever you perform any computation, like if you do like this, then only at this stage it firstly write this value at memory destination, and then it perform the execution. So it, good to have, lazy concept. So if you don't want to, if you just wanted to store temporary the value of any variable, you just need to apply the lazy keyword before that, and it will not let down, it will not write at memory destination. So it will, keep the things at temporary, any temporary destination. So this is called, lazy loading in Scala. I hope it is, clear with you guys. Okay, so this is, all about, today tutorial. I will let you know another some, basics stuffs, like, a return type, the last statement, for loop with guard conditions, okay, and the method definitions in next tutorial. So thank you for watching this, guys, and please follow with next tutorial to find out some more basic steps. Thank you.